Coming up on the agenda for the city council meeting is this Bill 93, which is going to make it to where if commercial tour vehicles want to go to Waimanalo Bay Beach Park, that they have to pay for the permit. Right now, tour companies can get permits to go to the city and county beach parks, and the permit is free. There are certain beaches that it restricts you from going to, but of the beaches that you are allowed to go to, it's free. So they're picking this one particular beach in Waimanalo where they're going to be charging $165 a van for you to be able to make recreational stops at Waimanalo Bay Beach Park. It's ironic. During my tour today, when I was explaining to my guest about the beaches that we're not allowed to go to because they've passed laws saying that we can't go there, my tour actually said, well, before long they'll be charging people to go to the beach. And sure enough, here it is. So currently, these are the beaches that we're not allowed to go to. Bill 11, which was passed about 4 or 5 years ago in Kailua, makes it illegal to go to any of the beaches from Lanikai, Kailua Beach Park, and Kalama Beach Park, all the way from Lanikai all the way to Castle Point. So that was Bill 11, which was passed about 4 or 5 years ago in Kailua. Then Waimanalo was like, hey, we like that law too. Let's get it for our area. So January of this year, they passed Bill 8, which makes it illegal for tour companies to stop at any of the beaches from Makapu'u all the way to Bellows Beach Park. So this whole coastline here, with the exception of Waimanalo Bay Beach Park, which is in the middle here. So there's a small section in the middle that you're allowed to go to if you have the permit from the city and county, which right now is free. Most people don't know about the permit. My company, we get the permit on a monthly basis. And so we don't usually go to this beach park because since we're not allowed to go into any of the other beaches here, we don't bother stopping at the beaches here at all. We just go on to the North Shore and go to the beaches there. But now Ikaika Anderson recently attended the neighborhood board meeting at the North Shore. He was the one that helped get the law passed in Kailua and Waimanalo, and so he was at the neighborhood board meeting on the North Shore, giving them advice about how they can get this law passed for the North Shore as well. Because the people in Kailua were like, don't come to our beaches, go to the North Shore. And so now the tour companies can't go to this entire coastline, the entire East Coast. And so now their only option is to go to the North Shore. So of course now the North Shore is getting crowded. And so the residents up there are starting to complain that they have an abundance of tour companies stopping at their beaches. And so now the North Shore wants that law for up there as well. And then the west side says, hey, we want it for our side too. So then, that only leaves Waikiki, where our tour company is going to be allowed to be able to stop at a beach and let people on their tour enjoy the beach. I mean, because I already, on my webpage for my tour company, I have a list. I've had to compile a list of all the places where we're not allowed to go to. And the list has gotten pretty long. Hanauma Bay, Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail, and Queen's Bath, because that's part of Ki'iwi State Park. Then there's the Bill 8 that was passed in Waimanalo, which specifies that we can't go to Makapu'u Beach, Kaupo, Makai Pier, Kaiona Beach Park, Waimanalo Beach Park, Waimanalo Bay State Recreational Area or Waimanalo Bay Beach Park, we can only go to on the weekdays. We're not allowed to go there on the weekends or state and federal holidays, and you have to have the permit in order to be able to go there. And then we're also not allowed to go to Bellows Field Beach Park. We're not allowed to go to Lanikai, Kailua Beach Park, Kalama Beach Park. We're not allowed to go to 2 of the 4 botanical gardens that are managed by the city and county. We're not allowed to go to the one in Kaneohe, Ho'o Luhia Botanical Garden, and we're also not allowed to go to the botanical garden in Cocoa Crater. We're not allowed to go to Ahupua'o Kahana State Park, Kaena Point State Park, both on the north shore and the south shore of the west side. Keaiva Heiau State Recreational Area above Aiea, Laie Point State Wayside. We're not allowed to go there anymore because that's a state wayside. Mala'e Kahana State Recreational Area, we're not allowed to go to there. Pu'u o Mahuka Heiau above Pupukea on the north shore, we're not allowed to go there. Pu'u Laka State Wayside, that's Tantalus Lookout, we're not allowed to go there. Ulopo Heiau State Historic Site in Kailua, we're not allowed to go there. Wa'ahila Ridge State Recreational Area. So basically all the state parks, tour companies aren't allowed to go to any of the state parks. On the east side, on the west side, we're not allowed to go to all the areas that are part of the homestead areas over there, like in Nanakuli. Then there's that whole coastline from Makaha all the way to Kaena Point that is now off limits because they've got the signs up that you're not even allowed to park there. Where the homeless encampment was, the little shanty town there, now they have signs saying government property all along the beach, saying no parking government property. So we're running out of places to take our tours. The hiking trails, there are 34 hiking trails. If you get the permit from DLNR, then you're allowed to go on 8 of the trails. So any of these trails that go to the waterfalls that everybody wants to go to, as a commercial activity, we're not allowed to take them because you have to have this permit from DLNR, which only allows you to go on 8 trails, which is Kalawahine Trail in Makiki, Manoa Falls, Kealia on the North Shore at Dillingham Airfield, Kuli'o'o Ridge. So it's a very short list of trails that we can go on, only 8 out of the whole island. So we're running out of places to go. This entire coastline here, all the way from Hanama Bay. Of course, we're not allowed to go to Hanama Bay. There's Sandy Beach, but of course you're not going to let your tourist out to swim at Sandy Beach. I mean, they'll get killed in the shore break. So from Makapu'u all the way through Waimanalo, we're not allowed to go to any of those beaches, with the exception of Waimanalo Bay Beach Park, which now they're going to only allow 5 vehicles and charge $165 a vehicle for the permit in order to go to that beach, and then all the way from Lanikai all the way to Castle Point. So that entire coastline there, we're not going to be allowed to go to. And then after that, there's the Marine Corps base, and then there's Kaneohe Bay, where there are no beaches. So the next beach that we would be able to go to would be after Kaneohe Bay. Then there's Kualoa Beach Park by Chinaman's Hat. That would be the next beach that we would be able to go to, all the way from Hanama Bay all the way to there. There wouldn't be a single beach for us to be able to stop at and let our tourists out. And then this coastline along here, along Hauula and Ka'ava and Punalu'u, there's beaches there that we could probably go to, but there's just not a place to park. the edge of the road, you know, it's very sketchy to be able to park on the side of the road, especially for a 15-passenger van or bigger, you know, like a 25-passenger. Definitely couldn't park there, but a 15-passenger van would have a hard time parking along there. And then there's Turtle Bay, and then the North Shore beaches, which in the winter time, you're not going to let your tours get anywhere near the water when the surf is up on the North Shore there. And then you got Kaena Point, which is state parks. We're not allowed to go there. Yokohama Bay side, we're not allowed to go there because it's a state park. And then this coastline here is what I was talking about, where they've got the signs up now saying that it's government property. Since they chased the homeless out of there, they put up those signs that say no parking, government property. So you're not allowed to go to those beaches there. Nanakulia area, that's Hawaiian homestead lands, so we're not allowed to go there. And Barbers Point, I guess we could go there, White Plains, but I don't know, that's a heck of a drive to get to a beach. And then you've got the whole Pearl Harbor Airport, Sand Island area, downtown. So we're really running out of coastline where we're allowed to let our tours out at. And so here we are. Now they're going to start charging us to go to this beach, $165 a van. And just like when they passed the law in Kailua for Bill 11, which made it illegal to go to the beaches there, and then Waimanalo copied that, and then the North Shore wants to copy it, and the West Side wants to copy it. So what's going to happen if this bill gets passed that you have to pay to be able to take customers to this beach? What happens when this starts spreading to all of the other beaches, and there's not going to be any beaches that tour companies are going to be allowed to take tours to unless you're paying $165 a van to go there. So it's like the tour companies are being punished. I mean, here we are. You know, we're providing a service that's wanted by the tourist, and you know, we're paying taxes on the money that we're making from that. You know, besides state and federal tax, we also pay GET tax, PUC tax. You know, there's taxes if you pick somebody up from the airport. You have to pay for the permit in order to pick people up from the pier at Pier 2 for the cruise ships. There's just so many ways that tour companies have to pay. You know, the Poly Lookout for a 10 to 15 passenger van, just for a 15-minute stop to look at the Poly Lookout, it's $12 for a 15-minute stop. $12 for parking at the Poly Lookout. It's just getting ridiculous. I mean, the tours that my company does, we do custom tours. They're private tours, and supposedly it's, you know, we'll take you wherever you want to go, with the exception of all of these places here. So yeah, it's getting ridiculous. It's like the tour companies are being punished when tourism is the #1 economy in Hawaii. This is our bread and butter. And you know, the issue with tour companies going to the beaches like in Kailua Beach, you know, part of the problem, besides the number of people coming to the beach, was also the parking situation. So you've taken away the tour buses, and so now, you know, people want to go to that beach. That's the #1 beach they want to go to. So now, instead of hiring a local tour company, they're going to be renting cars to go there. And so now, instead of the money going to local businesses, it's going to go to Dollar Rent-A-Car, Hertz, Avis, all the rental car companies, which are national. And instead of, you know, say a 15-passenger van bringing, you know, a dozen people there, if those same people were to go there on their own in rental cars, that's going to take, you know, 4 rental cars. So now, instead of taking up 1 parking space, they're going to be taking up 4 parking spaces. So there's this attitude that the locals have against the tour companies. I mean, even if the tour company is run by locals, the locals just have this attitude against tour companies in general that they shouldn't be making money. This is the mantra that I hear all the time. You shouldn't be making money off of our beaches. Well, that money gets turned around and spent back here in GET tax, and almost every bit of the money that my company makes goes right back out the door to pay for local services. So we're just shooting ourselves in the foot.